A day of remembrance that came with the reminder to never forget. After a 3-week period of commemoration and reflectance, the United Nations today once more paid tribute to the more than 800,000 men, women, and children who died during the genocide in Rwanda in 1994.
No more tears, no more anger.
But this time, the international community focused as much on the future of the Central African country as it did on its past.
Each year, we continue to choose to revisit this painful past, to offer support and comfort to all the survivors. Each year, we also renew our efforts as Rwandans to preserve our young generation from future atrocities.
I draw profound inspiration from the people of Rwanda, from the survivors' ability to show how reconciliation is possible even after such a monumental tragedy.
The 100-day period of unrest and genocide that went into history as the Rwandan massacre, where Rwandans of the Tutsi minority were brutally murdered, was an occurrence failed to be prevented by the United Nations and the international community. 2 decades later, it is seen as a turning point in the handling of genocide by member states.
The United Nations could have done more, and we should have done much more. We have pledged never again, again and again, but this world is still divided.
We who are symbols of the international community today have only words of regret and awkward apology to offer you. You Rwandans, you've changed the world. Your history of devastation has become our history of collective failure. We have scrambled to try to do better. We know what is possible because you will never, and you should never, let us forget. We are far from perfect, we don't have to tell you, but you have made us improve, you have helped us improve.
Reconfirming the lessons learned from what has been described by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon as an epic failure to prevent the massacre 20 years ago, the United Nations Security Council unanimously passed a resolution for the recommitment to prevent and fight genocide.
So the truth is, there was no lack of capacity. What was missing, both in Rwanda in 1994 and also again in 1995, when the Council failed to act to establish security in the camps in the DRC, was political will.
As the world marked the 20 years that have passed since the genocide, there was also space for looking back on the impressive work of recovery and reconciliation by the Rwandan people. Today, the country is one of few in the world with true gender equality in parliament. And together with the UN Tribunal for Rwanda, the country is in an ongoing process of convicting those involved in the massacre, leading Rwanda on the road away from its troubled past and forward to a brighter, more powerful future.
Rwanda, 20 years later, shows us the triumph of human spirit in the rebuilding of its health and education systems, in reducing poverty, in its effort to diversify its economy, and its fast economic growth of the past decade.
This is Shari Naiman reporting for South South News from the United Nations.